to transform your life in 15 minutes. Here's your host, Thea McAdams.
Good morning. I am smiling. Why? Because actually I feel good. So I feel like smiling. Hopefully you feel like smiling and having a great day today as well. I want you to know today that your perspective is limited. If your perspective is limited, then guess what? Your love is limited. And that's what we're going to be talking about this morning in this little short segment. It's going to be talking about unconditional love. Love without limits. But this is the catch. This is a caveat on it. We're not going to be talking about having unconditional love for someone else. We're talking about having unconditional love for yourself. Because guess what? You cannot love anyone until you love yourself. So, as far as unconditional love, if you don't have unconditional love for yourself, how is it that you can have unconditional love for anyone else? And I want you to understand this. When it comes to unconditional love, this is a journey. This is not something is these concepts that I'm talking about on this morning show. These are not candy for your intellect. This is food for your soul. This is not something that, I want you to just like consciously ask. If someone asks you, do you love yourself? You just say yes. But then when you really think about it, if you actually think about what does love mean, particularly what it means for you, some of the things that you're doing to yourself, you wouldn't even do to someone that you didn't even like. So how can you consciously say you love something, but then your actions, your deeds are otherwise? And so that's what we're going to be talking about this morning is how do you go about on the journey of finding unconditional love for yourself? And by the way, that may mean just first finding love for yourself before it can be unconditional. Because what is unconditional love? Again, it is love without limits. That means you don't say things like, oh, I love myself, but I hate my thighs. Oh, I love myself, but I hate this. Oh, I love myself, but. Okay? Anytime you say the word but, you just negated everything before the word but. So in other words, if you love yourself, you're accepting yourself wholeheartedly, unconditionally. So let's talk about how you can actually start on the journey to love, be it unconditional or not, just on the journey of love. And the first one is to expand your perspective. Okay, again, a lot of times we're looking through the lenses. And what are the lenses that we're looking through? Well, you need to expand it. So how do we do that? Number one is to question your thoughts. We talked about this week. We talked about negative thoughts, and I explained to you that we have over 70,000 thoughts that go through our mind on a constant basis. I also explained to you that over 90% of those thoughts are negative or in the past, and I actually challenged you to be aware of your thoughts and then to let me know. Now, some people actually did let me know about their thoughts, and they're like, yeah, I whenever thought about what I was thinking about or was aware of it, then it was something that was, I realized it was something in the past or something negative. So I want you to question your thoughts because also recall that I mentioned to you that your mind lies to you. It's the stories that you tell yourself. So question it, okay? Remember, talking about love and how to find unconditional love for yourself. Question your thoughts. Another way, and again, this is something like repetitive of what we've been talking about all week, but another way, forgot this, yeah. Another way is to allow your emotions without judgment. Okay, allow your emotions. If you're feeling sad, it's okay to feel sad. Okay, don't judge it. Don't judge it because what happens is when you start judging, now you're putting on the blinders because in the mind, the judgment is saying that is bad. I shouldn't be feeling this way because of this. Okay, allow it. Allow it to come and trust it. Okay, and don't judge it. Now, the next one is also follow the thoughts that make you feel good. And this is going to help you because, again, I'm saying question your thoughts. I'm saying allow your emotions. But again, allow it, meaning let it come through. Don't deny it. But I'm not saying follow that flow. Okay? In other words, choose the thoughts that's going to make you feel better. And guess what? Those are not actually always happy thoughts. So, in other words, if you're fearful about something or you're sad about something, jumping to a happy thought may not be possible for you. So if you're feeling fearful, a better thought might be to be angry. Okay, so just follow the line of the better thoughts, but don't always assume that the better thoughts have to be happy thoughts or good thoughts, because what are good thoughts? But follow the thoughts that make you feel good. All right, and then the second way to on the journey to finding love, unconditional love for yourself, is to learn the art of detachment. Okay, and we talked about this yesterday, or was it the day before, whatever it was. But basically, it's about admitting to where you are at this point and discovering who you are. Like, how can you admit who you are if you don't really know who you are? So we talked about discovering who you are, and that's all aspects of you. Remember? Good morning, Rotunda. Good to see you. And we're talking about taking off those blinders or who you think you're supposed to be. Getting rid of those labels, those identities, those traits that are not really serving you, those attachments. Because what happens when it goes away? So, for example, let's say that you have the identity that you're so and so's mom or you're so and so's wife. And then what happens when the so and so grows up, or the husband leaves, or the wife leaves, but your identity is attached to that? Then all of a sudden you start feeling bad for yourself. So learn the art of detachment. But it starts off by admitting to who you are, and that means you, of course, need to discover who you are. All right. So again, when we're talking about unconditional love, this is love without limits. And first, it starts here with you. Well, I'm saying me because obviously it starts with me as well. All right. So one's saying something I can't see. Now I have my glasses on. What do we say? Oh, they're just saying you're here. Okay. Again, I can't see everything that's going on. But anyway, so that's what I wanted to stop by and share with you this morning, is that unconditional love is about learning unconditional love for yourself. This is love without limits. Stop saying I love myself, but okay. Stop utilizing these conscious phrases, but then your actions, your deeds, or elsewise. Let's go ahead and get those in alignment. So in other words, your conscious, whatever it is that comes out of your mouth, make sure it's in alignment with your actions, and particularly when it comes to love, because how can you truly love someone else if you don't love yourself? All right, so hopefully this was helpful for you. So now we're going to move on to the second segment of the broadcast. And this, oh yeah, I need to take this off. And this is where we're going to go and do some yoga. So remember, in this 15-minute broadcast, an exercise one each for the mind, the body, and the soul. And guys, by the way, when it comes to anything that you want to change, the first thing that you need to do is be aware of it, because you can't just jump from wanting to understanding that there's something you want to change and then changing it without being aware of it. And I'm not talking, again, not the surface level. I'm talking about the real, the deepness, the things that you've been denying, the things that's deep inside of you. Okay, the things that you're avoiding. That's what we do when we're talking about transformation. And I want you to understand this. During this transformational process, I'm not going to lie to you and say this journey is easy. It's anything but easy, because you really start digging deep. But this is the thing. You're digging deep, but there's progress that's going along the way. And guess what? It gets easier over time. Sometimes. Okay, I'm not going to lie, sometimes. All right, so let's go ahead and move on to yoga. Again, this is the part of the broadcast that I ask you to join me. So not just watch me, but just join in with me with this mind-body process. And after we do the yoga, then I'll come on and lead you to a 5-minute guided meditation, one of my favorite ones I do every single morning, literally every single morning. As a matter of fact, when I do it with you, I've already done it, so I'm just guiding you through it, and I do it again. In other words, it's always good to always good to be connected. So I do it again when I do it with you as well. All right, let's see. Turn this down. All right, this morning let's go to child's pose. Let's start there. All right. So meet me on the mat. So make sure you can see my mat. Meet me on the mat, and let's go to child's pose. I don't have it this morning. That's the first. But I do have this. No, let's leave it. So just come into a nice, comfortable position in child's pose, using your breath, and on the exhale, extend it out. Now this position is going to take a couple deep breaths, inhaling through my nose, exhaling through my mouth. And what's going on is my mental state. I'm looking at what's going on in my body at this moment in time. I'm directing my breath to any tight areas in my body. I'm breathing deeply, slowly, and purposefully. I want you to feel extension from the fingertips all the way to the shoulders, from the crown of the head all the way to the tailbone. Now this position, your crown of your head is actually on the mat. If you don't feel comfortable, then go ahead and put your forehead down. All right, on the next exhalation, go ahead and bring your body to tabletop. In this position, your fingers and toes are spread out wide, your palms are directly underneath your shoulders, and your knees are directly underneath your hips. Head is in alignment, neutral spine. But as we inhale, we're going to take our head and chest and move it forward. You're going to arch your back and stick your tailbone out toward the back of the room. And as you exhale, I want you to drop your chin down to your chest and round through your spine, tucking your tailbone under. Again, as you inhale, head and chest comes forward. Just kind of take your time through this cat-cow using your full breath. Relax those shoulders, push them down away from your ears. Let's do that one more time. Inhale. And this time as you exhale, go ahead and return back to the neutral spine. So flatten at the back and tabletop. Let's go ahead and start off with the balance pose. So I want you to take a nice big breath in. And as you exhale, I want you to extend the right arm ahead and the left leg behind. Now when it comes to any balancing position, just find a spot directly in front of you and just kind of stare at that spot. And don't waver your gaze. If you do start to waver, if you don't have a balance, feel free to lower either your hand or your leg. And go ahead and release it down. Another deep breath. And as you exhale, the opposite arm, opposite leg. And again, nice lung extension from fingertips all the way down to the toes. Relax those shoulders. Squeeze that belly button into the spine to help stabilize your core. Let's do that again. Exhale. Again, relax the shoulders. And then release it down. This time as you exhale, I want you to curl those toes under. Let's go ahead and take it to downward facing dog. Your head is in alignment with your bicep. You're pressing your chest toward your thighs and your knees. Go ahead and pedal your legs. Just do what feels comfortable to you. All right, go ahead and place both heels down if you can. If you can't, don't worry about it. Press your chest toward your thighs and your knees. And using your spine, I want you to bring your body forward into the plank as you inhale. And as you exhale, take it back to downward facing dog. Do that again. Inhale. And exhale. And hold it here. Now go ahead and bring that right knee into your chest. And I want you to bring that right knee directly down in front of you. Turn that right foot out toward the ankle, at an angle, and then gently slide that left leg back. And take your chest down as you inhale. And as you exhale, lift up. Relax those shoulders. Again, inhale. And exhale. One more time, deep breath, inhaling. This time as you exhale, take it up. Walk your fingertips back toward the hips. And try to get your hips squared down to the mat. And just lift up your chest. And then slowly walk it all the way down. I'm going to go ahead and cross my hands and let the crown of my head rest on my hands. Again, pressing your hips down toward the mat. All right, take it up. And let's take it back to downward facing dog. Inhale, bring it forward. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. One more time. Inhale. And exhale. Now this time the opposite knee comes in, so it's the left knee. Put just above your navel. Turn that foot outward. And then extend that right leg all the way back. And take it down. Uncurl the toe. Exhale, take it up. Remember, your hips are squared, and depending on the flexibility or the tightness in your hip, it may start to roll outward, but keep them square to the front. And inhale. Again. This time as you exhale, walk your fingertips back. Again, square those hips, press them down toward the mat, and breathe. So as I'm exhaling, I'm actually releasing my hips down toward the mat, and I'm drawing my breath toward the tight areas in my body. And then go ahead and release it down, all the way out. Hands on top, crown of head down. And again, square those hips to the mat, straight in front of you. All right, go ahead and take it up. Take it back to downward facing dog. Now release the knees down to the mat. And then go ahead and cross your legs and come to a comfortable seated position facing forward. Again, making sure that your sits bones are not the fleshy part of your bottom. Take the fingertips down to the side and do a little rotational twist here. So as we inhale, take the arms up. And as you exhale, twist over to the right. So if the left arm comes in the front, right arm goes behind. You're looking over that right shoulder. You're sitting up nice and tall. I'm going to take my left hand, I'm going to put it on the outer part of my thigh. Just give a little twist in that rotation. And as I'm doing this, I'm exhaling. And then return back to the center. Inhale. And as we exhale, we take it to the opposite side. Remember, sitting up nice and tall, looking over that left shoulder, taking that right hand on the other part of the thigh. And as you exhale, just extend it just a little further. A gentle squeeze, don't force it. And then return back to the center. Inhale, take it up. And exhale down. So then again, take a nice deep breath. Inhaling. And exhale down. One more time. Nice deep breath. Inhaling, bringing in all of that positive energy. And we're going to breathe our palms together at the very top. Exhale down through the center. And we say, Namaste. All right, thank you for practicing yoga with me. This brings us to the third and final segment of the broadcast. Make sure I'm not sneeze. We're going to lead you to a guided meditation. And again, this is a meditation that brings you connected, fully connected to Source. I call this Connected to Source. All right, so go ahead and get in a nice, comfortable position. And if you're seated in a chair, take your shoes off and just let your feet fall flat on the floor. Make sure your spine is extended, supported, so it's nice and tall. Again, just make yourself comfortable. I don't want you slouching down. Now to get yourself centered and grounded, we're going to start off with 3 deep breaths. Inhaling through your nose. And exhaling through your mouth. Again, inhaling through your nose. And exhaling through your mouth. One more time, nice deep breath, inhaling through your nose. And this time as you exhale, go ahead and close your eyes. Now I want you to let your breath return to its normal rhythm. Just breathing in and out. Now I want you to imagine, if you will, there's a divine light extended about 3 feet above you, and it's asking for permission to enter in your space. And I want you to allow this divine light to come in by mentally saying the word yes. And as you do that, I want you to imagine, if you will, the divine light entering in the crown of your head and just working its way slowly through your body, just washing away anything that's no longer serving you. Any stresses, any anxiety, any worries, any shame. Imagine that light working its way down your neck and down your shoulders, just releasing again the stress and the tension as you relax your shoulders. The light makes its way down your arms to your elbows, from the elbows to the fingertips. Now imagine the divine light in your torso starting at the top from your chest and your upper back, just making its way down, removing anything that's no longer serving you. If there's any areas that you need the light to stay for just a moment, allow it to stay. Imagine the light moving down the mid-back, your abdominals, the lower back, your hips. Imagine moving the light going down your leg to your knees, from the knees to the ankles, and then out through your toes. Breathe into this new space. Now imagine the light coming from the bottom of your feet, extending downward through the floor, all the way down through Mother Earth, when it wraps itself around the center. And then like a trampoline, it's going to bounce its way all the way back up, all the way up through your feet, through your ankles, your knees, your waist, all the way up, so that you're connected from above and below. Breathe into this connection. Now imagine the light extending out through your heart center and making a bubble around you about 3 feet, just covering your whole body. Now the light's extending and across the room that you're in, filling it up. And then the building that you're in. The light extending across the city and the state. Now imagine this light extending across the country, the continent, and the whole world. Breathe into this space, this non-space. Now to bring your consciousness back, we're going to take 3 deep breaths, inhaling through your nose, and exhale. Again, inhaling and exhaling. Inhaling one more time. And this time as you exhale, go ahead and open up your eyes as you release, relax, return, refreshed, and calm. You've done something good for yourself today. Thank you for taking the time to meditate with me. Remember, this ABC, always be connected. Anytime throughout the day, if there's anything that comes up, anything that's stressing you, worrying you, distressing you, go ahead and give it to the light source, the divine source that's always around you. And once again, thank you for watching this broadcast. If this information has been helpful for you, then go ahead and share this with your family, your friend. Remember, sharing is caring. And today we're talking about unconditional love, but remember, it starts off with you. But no matter what's going on in your life at this present moment, you are okay. You are exactly where you're supposed to becoming the person that you're supposed to become. Be still be beautiful, because you are beautiful. And I want you, until next time, remember, always be uniquely you. See you tomorrow. Bye.